Welcome to the most incredible place in outer space. Kids Planet! I'm Nova. I go on adventures all the time. When I was on one of them, I passed by a beautiful planet. And it was so beautiful that I decided to land my spaceship and explore. There was a big creature guarding the planet, so I asked him if it was okay for me to walk around. He said, yeah, without the leader's permission. Just make sure to do it before our leader wakes up. You know what? That made me feel uncomfortable. I didn't want to be walking around the planet without permission, so I decided to wait until the leader woke up. So when she was ready, I asked her for permission, and she said yes. She really appreciated my respect of the rules and invited me to stay for dinner. We had so much fun. I definitely made a moral decision. Do you know what moral is? Well, don't worry, you're in the right place, because today we're going to explore the universe of moral values and ethics. It's going to be amazing! So, fasten your seatbelt, because this space expedition starts in 3, 2, 1. Here we go! When I travel around different galaxies, I always meet different creatures. That's why I have to be very careful, because I don't want to offend or break any rules. I want to respect the different new friends I meet. My mommy gave me great advice. She said that I should always make good choices. I really try to do that all the time so that my adventures can be successful. I always make friends because I always make my decisions based on moral values. There's that word again. Let's ask Curious for help. Curious, what is morality? Morality is acting in the right way and always doing the right thing no matter what. Morality is having values based on generosity, honesty, respect, integrity, and kindness. If you behave based on those 5 values, you've done it! You will be a moral person. That means that you always do the right thing for yourself and for everyone else around you. Thanks, Curious! It's not enough to do things right. The right things have to be done. Curious said that morality is based on 5 values. My dad explained them to me. Do you want to know what the 5 values of morality mean? Yeah! Perfect! Here we go! Generosity. Say that word. Generosity. Great job! Generosity is the value of giving. When people have generosity in their hearts, they give and share with others without being selfish or expecting anything in return. Do you know how we can practice generosity? Well, one way is by sharing our toys with others and by giving them away when we don't use them anymore. The second value is honesty. Say that word. Honesty. You're doing great! Honesty is the value of truth. Being honest means that we never lie. We always tell the truth. Like the other day, when I went to my friend's birthday party. My friend's grandma cut the cake and gave me a piece. It was a chocolate cake, my favorite, and it was delicious. My friend's mom came with another piece of cake and asked me if I had a piece already. I could have said no, since it's my favorite cake. But instead, I was honest and said, yes, I already had a piece, and it was delicious. Thank you. My friend's mom was so proud of me that she gave me the second piece of cake anyway, as a reward for being honest. People really appreciate honesty. The next value is respect. Say it with me. Respect. That's right. Respect is the value of peace. Respect means treating everyone fairly and with kindness. Every single person and living creature deserves to be treated with respect. We have to respect people, animals, oceans, plants, insects, everything on planet Earth, and in the entire universe. When we give respect to others, we keep a peaceful and happy environment for everyone. Our fourth value is integrity. You did it again! Great job! Integrity is the value of being true to yourself. When people have integrity, they live in the best way possible. They don't let others influence them in doing things they don't want to do or things they know aren't right. The last value we need to have good morality is 5. Kindness. Kindness. Excellent! You are awesome! Kindness is the value of love. Having kindness means doing everything with love in our hearts. When we are kind to others, we are friendly and considerate of them. So there you go. When we have morality, it means we have the values of generosity, honesty, respect, integrity, and kindness, all rolled up into one. Wow! Morality has a lot of good values. Now, we have to take a little break. But before we go, it's time for our Nova quiz. I hope you're ready. Here we go. Which of the following shows morality the best? When you're at school and you find money that isn't yours, you should A. Keep it. You can buy a snack at lunchtime. B. Leave it on the floor. Someone else will turn it into the teacher. C. Pick it up and give it to your teacher. It might be another classmate's lunch money. D. Give it to your friend as a gift. That's tricky. Don't go anywhere. We'll get the answer when we come back to the best place in outer space. Kids Planet! Welcome back to the best place in outer space. Kids Planet! We still have so much ahead of us, but before we continue, we need to find out the answer to our Nova quiz. Do you remember the question? Which of the following shows morality the best? When you're at school and you find money that isn't yours, you should A. Keep it. You can buy a snack at lunchtime. B. Leave it on the floor. Someone else will turn it into the teacher. C. Pick it up and give it to your teacher. It might be another classmate's lunch money. D. Give it to your friend as a gift. If you said C, you're right. Yes, turning in the money to your teacher shows you have all the great values. Generosity, honesty, respect, integrity, and kindness. Can you believe that a little gesture like that contains so many moral values? That's why it's so important to always do the right thing. We've already learned the importance of morality and how we can practice it. Do you know what goes hand in hand with morality? Ethics! Wow, that's another big word. Let's ask Curious what ethics means. Curious, what are ethics? Ethics are personal rules that people follow in their lives. Ethics help us tell the difference between good and bad. If you have good morality, that means that your ethics will also be good. Ethics are more like a system of rules that help us act in the correct way so we can live in harmony with the rest of the people. Thanks, Curious! Ethics are codes for people to do the right and proper thing at all times. Mrs. Starr told us that school is a great place where we can use our ethics. For example, we have to follow our class schedule. We have to help to keep harmony between our classmates. We do our own homework. You see, when we do all those things, we are being ethical because we are doing the right thing and accomplishing our duties the correct way. When we know about ethics, we can tell the difference between good and bad. Mrs. Starr said that if we have the chance to eat more candy than we should at home, without anyone finding out and we decide not to do it, we are showing good ethics and great morals. I asked her why, and she said, "We know that even though no one will ever find out we ate more candy than we should have, we will know in our heart that we did something bad, and we don't want that. We need to be aware of our actions, even the little ones." What would you do if you were baking strawberry cupcakes for your friends and you dropped all the strawberries on the floor? Would you just put them back without washing them? Acting with ethics in mind, you would pick up the strawberries and wash them again, even though it means more work. Having good ethics makes us act in a correct way. That is why it's so important to have them. The best way to have ethics is by having love and kindness in your heart. You won't do anything that will hurt anyone in any way. Another great way we can show our ethics is when we're playing. My mom says that playing by the rules is a great way to show good ethics. As simple as that. When someone cheats while playing, they're not being ethical, and no one likes a person who doesn't play by the rules. Remember, when we play by the rules and don't cheat, not only are we going to enjoy the game, but we will show respect to our friends. We can also be ethical when a friend tells us a secret. It would be unethical to then go and tell everyone else the secret. If someone trusts us, we have to honor that trust with good ethics and keep the secret. I remember a friend told a classmate about the surprise party he was preparing for Mrs. Starr's birthday. But instead of keeping the secret, the classmate told everyone about it, and Mrs. Starr found out. As you can imagine, the surprise was ruined. My friend was really disappointed. Having ethics means we care about others, and we show them our respect by acting in a proper way towards them. When we lie, we're being unethical. Lying is never right. Always telling the truth is one of the best ethical values that anyone can have. When we tell the truth, we're being honest to others, and we're also being honest to ourselves. My mom always says that a lie can fool everyone, but it will never fool us. Sometimes people think they can get away with doing bad things, and their actions won't have any consequences. There are always consequences! We just need to do the nice and proper thing every time. No exceptions. I love learning with you. So far, we've learned so many valuable things about ethics. We learned that ethics are personal rules that help us act in the right and proper way. They help us make good choices. Being ethical means being respectful, honest, kind, and trustworthy. We can practice ethics everywhere we go. Keep in mind that no one gets away with doing wrong or bad things, even if no one finds out. They will always know in their heart what they did. I love our mission today. We're gonna take a quick break. But don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we're going to find how to tell the difference between right and wrong. But before we go, it's time for another Nova quiz. Here it is. If you promise your friend that you're going to play with them after school, but you don't feel like doing it anymore, what would be the best way to deal with this situation? A. Ask your mom to call him and make up an excuse that you're sick. B. Don't say anything and never show up. C. Keep your word and play with him. I'm sure you know the right answer. We'll find out the answer when we come back to the best place in outer space, Kids Planet! Welcome back to the best place in outer space, Kids Planet! Before we keep learning about the universe of morals and ethics, let's find out the answer to our Nova quiz. If you promise your friend that you're going to play with them after school, but you don't feel like doing it anymore, what would be the best way to deal with this situation? A. Ask your mom to call him and make up an excuse that you're sick. B. Don't say anything and never show up. C. Keep your word and play with him. If you said C, you're right. Congratulations! I'm so proud of you. When we make a promise, we need to make sure that we follow through. It's very important to be trustworthy, which means that people always trust us. They know that if we promise something, we mean it, and we're going to do what we say. Now that we've learned about morals and ethics, we need to know how to tell the difference between good and bad. But how can we do that? Let's ask our friend Curious. Curious, how can we tell the difference between good and bad? Good things are things that have positive consequences. Bad things are things that have negative consequences. Before doing something, you have to always think about the consequences. Will doing this help people, or will it hurt people? Is it honest and kind, or dishonest and unkind? Asking these kinds of questions can help you tell if the action you're about to do is good or bad. Remember, in order to choose between good and bad, you need to have great morals and ethics. They're based on generosity, honesty, respect, integrity, and kindness. Having these values in your heart will help you make the right choices. My dad says that it's not always easy to tell the difference between good and bad. If we have any doubts about it, we should always ask an adult for help. Asking for help is always a great option. And always remember this rule. Do to others what you would like them to do to you. If you want other people to treat you with kindness, treat them with kindness. It's easy. If we pay attention and practice good morality and ethics, we will always know the difference between good and bad. Bad actions will always give you a bad feeling in your heart because they go against morality and good ethics. This should give you a clue if what you're about to do is good or bad. Good things come naturally and flow easily. They always make us feel great about ourselves and our actions. I have an idea. Let's do another planet exercise so we can practice choosing good instead of bad. You just need to say out loud if the action is good or bad. Ready? Great! 1. Taking something without asking permission. 2. Helping others when they need it. 3. Helping a friend do something bad. 4. Sharing your snack with a classmate. 5. Not sharing our toys with other kids. 6. Eating your veggies. 7. Doing our homework. Yay, you did great! Remember, if you have a tough time telling the difference between something good or bad, ask an adult for help. Mommy says that the more we practice being good, the easier it gets to see the difference. Mrs. Starr also explained that in order to choose good from bad, we need to have decency, discretion, and composure. Here come the big words again. Let's say these new words. Ready? Decency. Discretion. Composure. Mrs. Starr explained each one to me. Do you want to learn the meaning of these words? Okay, she said that decency means that we should always act based on our good manners, morality, and ethics. We should be respectful to others, never lie, play by the rules, and don't make choices that will affect other people in a negative or bad way. Discretion means that we take our time to think about the consequences our actions can have before we do something. This will help us make good choices. And composure means keeping calm, even if we get mad. We should always stay calm and use a calm voice. We shouldn't yell or fight with others. I call this value the keeping your cool value. Nothing should ever make you lose your cool. So many big words can be hard to remember. But even if you don't remember all the big words, just remember that when we learn and practice good values like respect, honesty, kindness, generosity, they'll grow in our hearts and minds. That means that we'll act in a good way and we'll treat others with love and respect. Having all these morals and ethics will help us choose good over bad. Just like a superhero, we will have super values and they'll be our superpowers. We'll have the power of being calm, honest, generous, respectful, and kind. That way, good will always win over evil. Having the power to choose our own actions and make big decisions is a huge responsibility that we have to take seriously. We have to make decisions every day. Every little decision we make can have a positive or negative impact in our day. Little decisions like telling the truth, doing our homework, being on time for class, and eating our veggies are all positive decisions that will make our day better. Let's make every little decision count so we can have a great future. We learned so much today. Mission completed. It's time to say goodbye, but don't be sad. We'll meet again soon, here in the best place in outer space, Kids Planet!